Hi everyone, Sandra here from the Schwowin's Nest. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cool coastal beachy looking clock that mimics a ship's wheel. Hope you enjoy!
Today's video tutorial is a trash to treasure. This is a clock that was purchased by my mom, I think, as a garage sale find. It's still in really good working condition, and I'm going to use this at my cottage for a clock to hang on the wall, but I wanted to create a ship's wheel out of it. I'm going to use about a half a pack of the tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to be using 6 of their wood candle cups. Those were also $1.25 for 2, so I'm going to be using 6. Then I'm using some of this really thick white nautical rope. This is available at my Dollarama store. And what else I'm going to use for the actual handles are some dowels that I had cut and used in a previous project. These were left over, so I thought they might be a perfect addition to use as the handles of the ship's wheel. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint everything and stain it and get it the color that I want. I know a ship's wheel is normally wood or white, but my walls at the cottage where I'm going to hang it are actually white as well. So I'm going to use a dark gray. The color I'm going to use first is the aged gray Rust-Oleum chalk paint. So I'm going to cover everything with one coat of the aged gray and then see how it turns out. So I've got all of my blocks painted, and the next thing I'm going to do is paint all 6 of these. So the design on these dowels is really cool, and when I paint it, you can see that there's still some of the wood showing through. So I'm actually just going to leave them like that. I think it'll look pretty neat that way. While I'm waiting for all of this to dry, I'm also going to be painting the gold part of this clock. I'm going to leave the back the way it is. It's just black. I don't need to do anything with that. When you're doing tiny little projects like this, it's really important to use the right type of brush so it makes the job easier. So this angled brush, I'm able to just push in this way instead of using it flat. I'm using it more in a sort of a pointed straight ahead, and then the brush is doing the work for me, so I don't have to work so hard at trying to get or trying to not get any of the paint on the glass. The clock is going to need a second coat, but I'm going to leave the blocks the way they are. And if you've been watching any of my videos, you know I like more of a distressed kind of look in my decor, so if there's a little bit of wood showing through, I like that effect. So if you're not somebody who likes to have this type of wood showing through, then you could go ahead and just fill it all in. Most of these pieces are dry, and I'm going to use my charcoal Rust-Oleum chalk paint. I just have a little tub of that, and I'm going to do some dry brushing on it to make some of the wood grains stand out, and just to give this a little bit more texture. My dry brush technique is to take a fairly stiff brush and put some paint on my brush, but then dab most of it off. And then when I start brushing, I'm just getting very, very light strokes on it. And just kind of go back and forth. And some of the edges will just pick up the paint. I'm just painting a little bit of the interior of the little candle cups, just so they have more darkness to them rather than the light wood peeking through. So now that the clock is dry, I'm also going to give it some distressing with the charcoal Rust-Oleum chalk paint. So the next step is to actually take these dowels and glue them right inside the little candle cups, so it ends up being a handle. I'm also going to put just a little bit of hot glue on the inside of each of the candle cups, just to make sure that the dowels stay put. So before I can attach the dowels to the back of the clock, I'm going to glue them in like this. But what is going to happen when I glue them, there's a little bit of more space here. So when I hang the clock, it's going to actually push up against these wood pieces and probably pop that off. So what I'm going to do is glue a piece of this wood onto the back of the clock all the way around wherever my dowels are going to be sitting on. So that raises the dowel piece up a little bit higher and won't put any pressure on the edges of my little handles. Now it's time to glue the dowels, which are going to be the handle of the ship's wheel, onto clock. And I'm just going to hold it there until it dries completely, because I want to make sure that it's nice and firm before I let go. I'm now going to use the blocks and start gluing them onto the top layer of the clock and then the second layer of the clock, just to give it a little bit more added texture and dimension. So I'm starting with the 12, 3, 6, and 9, and then I'm gonna fill in some of the other spaces as well. So the final piece is then using the nautical rope, and I'm actually going to go underneath and all the way around all of these wood pieces and then attach that with some hot glue. This rope frays really easily, so I'm just gonna, while I'm working with it, I'm just gonna grab a piece of clear Scotch tape and just wrap the end so it doesn't unravel on me. So I'm actually going to start underneath one of these blocks, because when it's hanging, then you won't be able to see these edges. I'm just working in really small sections with this rope because it's a little bit thicker than the jute nautical rope, and it's cotton. It's a different fabric, so it's a little trickier to work with. So just want to make sure that I don't miss any spots. Just going to use the nozzle of my hot glue gun just to glue down these edges so they don't continue to fray. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on and then smoothing it with the nozzle of the gun.
This is a view of my nautical clock. I think it turned out really cute. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out, but I'm thinking it looks pretty cool. So this is going to get hung up at my cottage.
I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial and it gave you some inspiration to create some coastal decor for your home. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell to get notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching.